in the books. The San Francisco 49ers did what they needed to do, defeated the Dallas Cowboys, improved to 4-4. They're headed into the bye week. It is a break for me, for you, your mama too. Let's have some fun right here on the Wayne Breezie. What's going on, 49er faithful? Niner gang in the building. Bang, bang, all that good stuff, man. Boom. What's good, faithful? It's your boy, The Wayne Breezie. And I'm excited. I was tired. Tired. I don't even know how we get the word tired from tired. It's spelled T-I-R-E-D. But I understand the English language is dumb complicated. So anyway, I'm tired. Last night, I did the reaction show on Bleacher Report. Shout out to everybody that was on the Bleacher Report, rocking with your boy Breezy, man. Round of applause to you. I got in the bed and I didn't pass go. I didn't collect my money. I didn't do anything. I went to bed. I tried to find a scary movie. It's Halloween time and I'm looking for like horror stuff to watch. And I've seen everything. And it's just like, I don't know if I'm interested in something that I've already seen before. So if there's any cool films or flicks out there around this time that maybe not have made it to the movie theater, might be low budgeted, but are good, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. Shout out to the faithful that's here, though. You guys are here faithfully every Monday. I just wanted to show you guys some love. Boats is in the building. He says, awesome win. My brother Manly. Yes, I was getting text messages, DMs last night. I need the faithful to stop panicking. You know what I'm realizing? I'm literally a doctor. I need to go back to college, get my PhD in 49ers therapy. I think that's what I need to do. Like, people come to me, they hit me up, and I try to give them a different sense on how to look at certain things, right? Game was crazy yesterday. We're going to talk about it. We're going to recap it. Happy Monday. It's Victory Monday. Robert in the building, nice win, still have a lot of work to prove. You, Robert, are me in a nutshell. Like, I'm sitting there watching it and we're winning and I'm already writing down. I have a book of notes that I don't have with me. It's upstairs. I was literally writing down all the ways that we can still improve and be better. That's just who I am. I'm always trying to figure out what could I do to be better. Call me the crazy criticism person. It's just who I am. But you're right. Maui. New half of the season starts after the bye. Excited to see the youth movement grow, win or lose, faithful. Yeah, man, the youth movement. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and I like that, man. I'm going to do a show on the youth movement. I'm excited to see what they're going to become, but we get guys back. We're going to get some players back off the IR. So maybe that youth movement is halted just a little bit. I saw a lot of mistakes yesterday from the youth, and that's why I said that. And I think now, if you watch the game the way I watched the game, if you saw the mistakes that the youth was making, the youth they were making out there in the football field, now we can kind of understand why Kyle Shanahan probably struggles with putting young players out on the football field. He uses them when he has no choice, but I get it. His choice is to not use those guys and ease them into the system as great as they can. 49ers throwback. What's good, man? Thanks for tuning in, faithful. Make sure y'all smash the like button and subscribe. Speaking of subscribe, hit that like button, just like he said. And don't forget, if it's your first time watching, I don't know what YouTube is doing. I'm trying to figure out my YouTube channel. I don't understand. Maybe thinking of changing the name. I got to figure out how to get YouTube to understand that I'm doing 49ers content. For some reason, I don't think they do. But I appreciate y'all because you guys got to help me and help YouTube push the stuff out. So I'm charging you like Throwback, who will grab the link and put it on a different platform and be like, hey, watch this. So if everybody does that, maybe YouTube will be like, okay, Wayne Breezie, he's a 49ers channel. I don't know. I don't know how to, I don't understand algorithms. It's not my thing. Crazy because I worked in IT and I definitely should understand algorithms. I taught algorithms and I don't understand it. I don't understand the YouTube algorithm. Let me put that out there and be clear. But Make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't bother me in the building. And he has a couple of questions. And we're going to get to it. This is going to be a Q&A show. So if you got questions, you might have to put it in the feed because we're live a few times. But if I see it while I'm talking, I will star it. Nick Nice is Victory Monday. I got to celebrate with the foghorn one more time. Sounds so good to my ears. 3 of them things, the 49ers. First thing I'm going to talk about is how they played in the red zone. So hold that thought. I'm not there yet. I just wanted to finish shouting out people. Alejandro in the building with the hashtag the BB, Red and Gold Empire. Christy Marie, the one and only. My boy Michael Pickle in the building. You get the explosion, bro. It's an honor to have you in this chat. I'm excited. I'm excited in the building. 49er Jeff, one of the greatest people I've ever met my entire life. He's putting out great 49er content too, by the way. Don't think I'm not paying you any attention, my brother. Still not. Got to figure out how we could work together, help each other, build each other up. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you and I salute you. Jax Knox, one of the greatest out there to do it as well. Hey, Faithful, we on break. We won. It's all right with me. Ain't nothing like a break. Man, if I ate Kit Kats, I would be sponsored by Kit Kat right now, redoing the jingle of give me the break, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. I'm telling you right now, man, the Niners, they need this break. This break is important to them mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like all the elites, the Niners need the break. Jax, I couldn't agree with you more. I need the break. I want a break. I'm going to take a break. I don't know how I'm going to take a break, but I want to take a break. I don't know what kind of break I'm going to be doing. I will put this out there. The BAM show will only be live Wednesdays and Fridays. No more Monday BAM shows. I have to cut some stuff back because basketball season's kicking off, and I started a new Celtics channel, so check out Celtics World Podcast, the channel if you're into basketball. I'll be doing that over there with my co-host Clifton Powell, so we'll be doing that. So it's a brand new channel. I'm taking the Celtics and basketball stuff away from the Wayne Breezie channel because I think I'm confusing the hell out of YouTube or whatnot. Oh, let's start the show off with this one. Here we go. And the Cowgirls. Look, I know just by, you know what? What's good, Ty? Just real quick. Put your age in the comment section. I'm 43. I have no problem saying my age. Put your age in the comment section because the age will tell me how much you hate the Dallas Cowboys. Just from your age. If you don't mind, you don't have to do it. You don't have to participate. But if you do want to participate, put your age in the comment section. 44, 53, 44. See, Colin, well, you know what? I feel like anybody 44 and below, 40, I feel like I can tell we got a bunch of haters. Ronnie, you're only 36. I'm curious to know if you're in that conversation. If you're 43, 44 or older, you will understand the hatred of the Dallas Cowboys because they robbed us at least 3 years in a row. Literally, we couldn't beat this team. And now I feel like Kyle Shanahan, the San Francisco 49ers regime, they figured out something. They figured out how to beat the Dallas Cowboys. They figured out how to outlast them, outwork them, beat them, whatever. And I know we're going to get some Cowboy people in this conversation. This ain't even about me trying to bash you, but you have to understand like why the 49er faithful don't like you. It's because of the trauma. I really do believe the trauma was real. Then, not only that, after we beat y'all make an offer to the guy that we beat y'all with, and then he becomes a part of your team, and then you beat us again. So, like, the trauma was crucial. And Alejandro says, I'm 32, but still, Dallas. Like, I love it. My 30s, my 30 clubs, I understand, man. You just carrying on. You know what I'm saying? You carrying it on. Look at this. This is a good one. Thomas, what's good? He says, I'm about to be 39, and my 4th grade picture is with a Super Bowl winner shirt. The white one with the big diamond. I'm telling you, bro. Look, now we understand. We understand why the hatred. So for those that are like, why do the 49er faithful hate the Cowboys so freaking much? Why? Just putting a little history behind it, there's a little trauma in there. You know what I mean? A little trauma in there. All right, man, let's get to this game. Whew, what a game. Guys, don't forget, support me. We got our partnership with Residency. You can save on your total purchases. Just use that promo code SFBreezy and you will get a nice little savings on your total purchase. And if you want to know, I don't have a problem telling you the savings, it gets reverted back to me. So that's how I make a living. So the more you use that promo code, right, the more it helps me out. So if you guys don't understand how it works, that's how it works, at least with Residency. Great people over there. Shout out to my man King, doing a great job, man. It's so cool to watch his brand really like grow and grow and grow. And it's growing because A, they got the best damn team in the world rocking their brand. And B, they're expanding. I see them out in different cities and stuff like that. And but no one's helping them grow more than the 49er faithful. So round of applause to the faithful out there, because you guys are supporting that brand. Hey, Corey's in the building. What's going on, Corey? Now I know you guys are seeing moves being made, and I need y'all to understand the trade deadline is on its way. Trade deadline is coming. What is it? November next week? Next week is the trade deadline. Is the trade deadline literally like around election day? I feel like it's so close. Anyway, trade deadline is coming up, and the Niners usually find a way to add a piece to the team. The question is, who are they looking to add? What position they looking to add? Now, I thought we would add a wide receiver. I know a lot of people feel like we might not need that. It is on election day, isn't it? I thought I was crazy. What a weird time to do the trade deadline. Here's a couple things, man. The Niners, they need to figure out. They're definitely contending. They're at 500 after this win against the Cowboys. The question is, where do they feel like they need the most help? Jordan Mason is banged up a little bit. Are they going to rely on the rookie Isaac Guerrero moving forward? Christian McCaffrey should be coming back. I think the running back room is set. I think the injury to Brandon Ayuk is a little bit more detrimental to the wide receiving room. Loved everything I saw from Ricky Pearsall. I think we can get some stuff out of Jacob Cowing. There's a little bit of trust things still. I could tell Kyle Shanahan's working on his trust with these younger offensive players because there's a lot of moving pieces on the offense. The question is, what veteran wide receivers may be even like available for a trade? You do got to find a way to replace what Brandon Ayuk did for the San Francisco 49ers offense. And we're just talking being able to like stretch the field, keep the middle of the field, keep guys off of like some of these underneath routes to make these underneath routes work. I mean, his blocking minus this year was A+. There's a lot of things Brandon Ayuk did. No, he's out for the season. Will they go that way? Edge rusher was another position, and I thought Josh Uche would be somebody that they would trade for. Unfortunately, the Chiefs beat the 49ers to the table. If the Niners were even looking for an edge rusher, and they traded for the defensive end, Josh Uche, from the New England Patriots. So the Chiefs are undefeated, and they're finding ways to make moves. How you guys feel about the 49ers kind of just being stagnant? Do you really think they got everything going on there? Sentinels Football Channel says edge, wide receiver, right tackle. I know a lot of people just don't like the 49ers offensive line, and I ain't mad at you players. I tell you, I'm not mad, but the offensive line isn't broke. Hey, check this out. We don't like the right tackle position. I know we could get better. I just don't see any right tackles we could trade for. But hear me out. 49ers only gave up 6 pressures against the Dallas Cowboys. 6. And I understand there was no Micah Parsons. I understand there's no D-Law out there. I get it. But 6 pressures is not bad. Not bad. So I don't know if the offensive line is going to be where they're going. Plus, they got some guys on the practice squad. I believe they're going to be getting back after the break. I believe the window of John Feliciano opens up. He might be a swing piece that they probably are going to use. From the way John Lynch talks about, though, Colton McKivitz, man, and Jake Brendel, I just feel like those guys are just locked. They're just locked in at the positions. And we're going to have to live with the good, the bad, and the ugly like we do every week. But again, I'm sitting here looking at the pressures per PFF, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. This is amazing. 6 pressures. 6 pressures. 6. And one person that got credited for there were 2 sacks on Brock, if I'm not mistaken, but the one big sack was on the linebacker blitz from DeMarvion Overshown, and Isaac Guerrero missed that. But then on the next play, he just gets an explosive run. It's so crazy. So crazy. So, hey, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be doing some type of I know they're going to make some type of a move. They're going to add something to the rotation, but I don't know if it's going to be for one of those big old types of stars. You know what I mean? He didn't miss that block, bro. He absolutely whiffed. But, you know, when I watched it, I don't know how much it was like it was like an angle. It was so weird. It was like watching Guerrero. He was outside and like he was reacting to the play, and Brock. See, these are some of the things that I feel still be on Brock Purdy. I'm not saying Brock Purdy was the cause of the sack, but Brock has to recognize that blitz at the line of scrimmage to call out his protections. Somebody's got to call out that protection, because it looked like on that play that Isaac Guerrero, though he missed the block, he was way off from the block. Like he wasn't even in position to make the block, because the angle that Overshown took was just a quick straight slant to the quarterback. So it was just like he couldn't even make the block. Like, you know what I mean? And Sonya's saying he took a bad angle. Watch it again. Watch the play again. I don't even know if he could have made the block, because he was going and reacting to whatever that play call was. You know what I mean? And like I said, if he's responsible for the block. I don't want people to think he's definitely responsible for the block. I just want to know why he was so far away from executing the block. That's my question. Like, was he reacting to whatever the play call was? How come Brock didn't know that linebacker was blitzing? And those are the little things I feel like Brock has to see at that line of scrimmage. Literally, Brock, it's 6 people up there. Somebody's coming for you. If they drop back, cool. But somebody's coming. You just count the lineman. I feel like that's where the center comes in. Not trying to put it on Brock, but it is what it is. Cole says maybe just trying to get out to the flat real quick, and then that's what I saw. Was like the play was hiked, and then he was like, oh shoot, and then boom. So like he was going toward the play. There was another play in that game. I'm trying to remember. It was another play. Oh. The 3rd and 1. The 3rd and 1. There's some things that are gonna make you scratch your head and be frustrated with either Kyle Shanahan or Brock Purdy or the offense not executing. Promise. Every game. You're gonna get that. Every game. 100,785%. You're gonna get it every freaking game. So thanks, Cole, for that. Every single game. And on that 3rd and 1, first of all, I'm like, Kyle, why won't we just run it for a first down? It's 3rd and 1. Because after that was the comeback. I don't know if you remember, but that 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter started the comeback for Dallas. For some reason, not getting that first down allowed the Dallas Cowboys to gather some energy from the Ghostbuster pack, and next thing you know, they got 2 unanswered touchdowns, right? That was crazy. So it was literally like a boot right to the right, and then Ronnie Bell, who everybody is going to torch him for everything that Ronnie Bell does. And I feel bad for Ronnie Bell, because it's like, damn, Brock was running it. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, Brock, if you run it. Then Brock ran. He committed to the run. Then he pulled back from the run. And then he was yelling at Ronnie Bell, because Ronnie Bell's down there blocking. And next thing you know, it's almost an interception. That right there is crazy. That right there is crazy. Ronnie, with the question, Breezie, what's your thoughts on Kyle not running the rock and wasting that clock on the 3rd out? Oh, this is what we're talking about, right? Are we talking about the same play that I just mentioned? Because that was crazy to me. Like I watched it and I'm saying to myself, why didn't Brock just commit to the run? He committed to it, and then he must have seen a linebacker kind of move up fast. He didn't want to take the hit. It's like, 1 yard, Brock. You've been diving all game. And then he pulls it back, and then he's expecting his wide receiver, who's already down there blocking. So I don't know if that was on Ronnie Bell. I know a lot of people saw Brock yelling because Bell didn't come back to the rock to help his quarterback out. But if Bell's thinking his quarterback is running, doesn't that ring a bell? I'm just putting it out there. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We got some takes on that. Rookie got to pick up that blitz. We talking about. We got to talk about the blitz. I'm not saying that Isaac Guerendo was right. He was wrong. What I'm saying is you're gonna get these mistakes from young players when they're not out there used to seeing certain things. Brock knew that they were blitzing. Brock should have threw hot. Brock has to throw hot on the blitz. It's just the way football works, right? That's what hot routes are for. Had Isaac Guerendo been able to even pick up that blitz, we still don't know what would have happened. I mean, Brock got creamed on that play from his blind side because there was no blitz. So yeah, Brock's counting on his guys to pick up the blitz, but if he was running the play, it's like he took the wrong step to the play to the flat and didn't recognize the blitz. Just feel like a lot of stuff. We were talking about how the Niners still got a lot of things to work on, man. And this is some of the things. And when you're playing with young players, ladies and gents, these are the I call them growing pains. We could be angry, we could be frustrated, we could be mad, 1,000%. We can. But these are some of the growing pains we're gonna have to live with. It's just the way it is. It's just the way that it works. You know what I mean? So look, a lot of positivity from this game, in my opinion. The first positive note that nobody's talking about is the Niners found a way to close out the game and win gritty. They had to. They found a way to close out the game, and they found a way to win gritty. The Niners this game looked lethargic for the majority of it. They couldn't get into a rhythm. Dallas was doing a great job. I thought Dallas at one point was actually running the ball better than the 49ers. I know it didn't finish that way, but they were running the ball a lot better than the 49ers. They were moving the ball, but Dallas made a lot of mistakes. The 49ers defense, in my opinion, was pretty damn solid throughout the game. Forced turnovers, did what they needed to do. Think about how 49ers didn't even have any luck on their side, right? How many turnovers did the 49ers actually force? Fumbles, 2, 3, maybe 3 at the max. Definitely 2. Fred Warner was in on, I think, at least 2 of the 3 or 2 of the 2, and the ball just doesn't bounce their way. I'm like, God dang, right? And if you want to talk about Dallas and the first their first score, it happened from a defensive penalty. If I focused on the good in this game, the good to me was that they found a way to get into a stride, and that helped them win this game. Stride, third quarter, came out, defense was forcing 3 and outs. Offense, moving the ball. I told you I wanted to talk about one statistic that I thought was just amazing. 49ers were 50% on third down, 8 for 16. That's all right. But the 49ers, round of applause, 3-3 in the red zone. Last time I checked, that's 100%. The Niners in the red zone found ways to get the ball into the end zone. Now, there were 3 times they scored in the red zone. Can you guys guess? All right, now I'm doing a little call and response from my live audience. If you're watching, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Can you guys guess what my favorite red zone score was in this game? Can you guys guess my favorite red zone score? Was it the Isaac Guerendo run? Was it the George Kittle touchdown? Or was it the Brock Purdy quarterback sneak? Let's see if you guys know me. Let's see how much you guys know me out there. You say you know me, and let's see if you guys know me. Ty Tanner says Purdy. Aaron, Brock Purdy sneak. You guys follow me too much on Twitter. Kittle, thank you. Christy Marie. Guerendo TD. Y'all know I'm the biggest Isaac Guerendo fan. And for everybody that's been, on him, back to you. I'm glad you guys are starting to come of your senses. Like, this kid is going to be a problem. I told you when they drafted him, he's going to change the tempo of the game once he starts to grasp the concept of the outside zone. Keep that in there. Guerendo. Y'all know me. I love me some Guerendo. I like how Big Daddy even spelled Grendo. That's a dope way to spell it too. Grendo. Like sound like he a character from Harry Potter. We got the George Kittle touchdown. Garendo from my boy Don't Bother Me. Cause 49er Jeff says the sneak. Cole with the Garendo. All right, man, here it is. Do I got a drum roll here? I used to have a drum roll sound. I done changed my sounds like 1,450 times. I don't know if I got the drum roll anymore. Oh well, drum roll's not here. But I tell you right now, I'm gonna use this sound. Finish him. It was the mother freaking Brock Purdy quarterback sneak. That was the best quarterback sneak I've ever seen in my entire life. And let me tell you why. Number one, it was ballsy. I like when Kyle Shanahan just says bump it. Like, I got bigger kahunas than you, dog. That's what Kyle Shanahan did. And here's why it was ballsy. That joint was on the 2-yard line. I ain't never seen a quarterback sneak from the 2. My boy Sasha was talking to me yesterday, and he brought it to my attention. I'm like, Sasha, why are you even in my head, bro? Like, that quarterback sneak, it might have looked boring. It might have looked blah. It might look whatever you wanted. First of all, it was from the 2-yard line. Second of all, Brock Purdy turned into a running back. What I mean by that? Oh, he got his legs and he turned his back. He was running like Ezekiel Elliott last night. He turned his back and used his hiney legs and pushed his way to get there. And he knew he was going to get hit. I know Brock Purdy back hurt right now, but that was gritty as it gets. It's nothing like when your quarterback is the grittiest motherfucker out there on the football field. Brock Purdy, that touchdown said something to me mentally. It said that, you can talk your talk about me. You can say whatever you want. That's literally the sticks and stones will break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. I hate that, right? Because words do hurt. But at the end of the day, like Brock said, no, I'm going to put the team on my back. We here. Let me get this joint in. I don't even know if that was the play call. All I know is it was the play that was executed. Shout out to the offensive line on that play. Shout out to everybody that helped Brock just get to that goal line and get that touchdown. But go back and watch that joint. It was from the 2-yard line. That's unheard of. That literally, it was a quarterback dive. It wasn't even a quarterback sneak. Anything from the 2 and back is a play. That's a play. Real talk, man. You got to give Brock Purdy his props on that one. He got that ball in the end zone. Niners needed that touchdown too. That was the 3-3. The Isaac Garendo was beautiful. The George Kittle is always beautiful. George Kittle is just a beautiful person, hands down. We'll talk about George Kittle in a second. George Kittle is just a beautiful person. But I just thought that play right there. I see some questions coming in. Don't worry, I'm starring them. I got you. I see some questions. I'm starring them. I thought that was beautiful. My boy Aaron says, yeah, man, you could talk, but that's Brock, yo. And for a guy out there that's been struggling with the reads, that's been struggling against man versus zone, that's been struggling against the blitz as of lately, for him to like really put the team on his back and say, hey, man, I'm gonna rush this joint 8 times, get you 56 yards, and score a touchdown. Brock scored a touchdown here. Brock scored a touchdown last week, 2 times? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Help the 49ers get a stat that they needed going into the bye week more than anything, and that's finishing in the red zone. So 3 for 3 in the red zone is unheard of. And Corey says, who does a quarterback sneak from the 2? I'm telling you, bro, that's a play. That's a play. That's a play. That's a play. That's a play right there. I'm telling you right now, that's a play. And so I don't want to see it unless it's around that goal line. But I think that's what made that 3rd and 1 so frustrating, right? You're watching Brock Purdy get these quarterback sneaks, and I know you don't want your quarterback sneaking all the time. And if that play would have been executed perfectly, it would have worked because it was a 3rd and 1, and it was just like a little rollout, and guy wasn't open. So Brock's got to either make the play or not make the play with his feet. And on that particular play, it didn't happen, and that's kind of like what started the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about how the Niners defense had a couple of mistakes from some young guys, a couple of accidents out there. My biggest gripe in this game was the 49ers and their mistakes, meaning penalties. I thought they made there was too many penalties. There are 4 penalties on the offense. 4 on the offense. How many penalties was on the defense? Hold on. Let me get there. Let me get this this stat. I felt like it was at least 2. Yeah, 2. Both defensive penalties were on Charvarius Mooney-Ward. He had the 2 pass interference calls. That's 6 penalties in the game. There's also a penalty on special teams. I just need the 49ers to figure out a way how to stop shooting themselves in the foot. And when you go back and watch this game offensively, you're going to see that the Niners shot themselves in the foot. There was a Deebo Samuel touchdown that got called back because there was a holding call by the backup tight end. And it's just like, damn, it was a touchdown though, right? There was a big run from Isaac Guerendo, and people were questioning, can he get to the outside after the high toss from Brock Purdy, and he's running to the outside, literally runs for a first down, but then it gets called back because there was a penalty. It's just like the Niners got to stop finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot. And I know they're not going to be able to play like penalty-free football, but they got to figure out how to stop shooting themselves in the foot. And luckily, they missed out on some opportunities, but luckily, they were able to withstand the adversity of that, and they found a way to get the win. And that's why, the title says the 49ers win gritty. They did, yo. It was a tough sled first half. They were losing at the half. They came out in the third quarter, and they didn't look back. And then they started messing up again. Both of Dallas' touchdowns really came off of some PI calls that kept drives alive. You think about it. Ezekiel Elliott from the 1-yard line. They had the 2 touchdowns to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb was targeted. CeeDee Lamb in this game was targeted 17 times. 17 times. Caught 13 receptions, had 2 touchdowns, 146 yards. If you had CeeDee Lamb in your fantasy football lineup, against the Niners, and you knew it. You knew they were going to go to him. This is the best game in CeeDee Lamb's life against the 49ers. We did it on the show, on the BAM show. We went through CeeDee Lamb. If you watch those episodes where we do the feared player, we went through CeeDee Lamb never had over 100 yards against the 49ers. I don't even think he had over 60 yards in a game against the 49ers. I'm going to say this. It's not going to be of popular demand. But if Mike McCarthy was a smart-ass coach, because he's clearly not, I just would have left CeeDee Lamb in the slot. They couldn't stop him in the slot. It was when they started moving him outside, CeeDee Lamb couldn't get open in the slot. He's a matchup nightmare. Not one 49er defender, not even the all-pro. Yeah, I'm saying it. Diamador Lenore could stop CeeDee Lamb in the slot. CeeDee Lamb was cooking, and the majority of his yards were from the slot. I'm not going to sit here and just kind of big up the Dallas Cowboys. But if you want to know the issue that the Niners were struggling with this whole game was CeeDee Lamb in the slot. The Niners got to figure out how to tighten that up, because if Dallas would have stuck with that game plan, it's going to have been a different outcome. They started moving him around. They started putting him outside. Then you started to see Diamador Lenore getting interception, defending him, bad pass, PBU. It was a lot. It was in the slot. That's where he was cooking. So the Niners got to figure that out. They got to find a way to not allow, and not every wide receiver can do what CeeDee Lamb does, A.J. Brown. They're like those big body wide receivers that are fast, quick, great hands in the slot. Not everybody can be the Devontae Adams in the league. I get it. But the Niners, that's kind of, to me, where I thought that the San Francisco 49ers were actually, struggling. I want to know, receiving wise, just going through some of these stats. 2 drops. So I know a lot of people feel like there were a lot of drops out there. It was only 2. One, Deebo Samuel, he had a drop, and Isaac Guerendo had a drop in this game. I know it looked like some of these passes were dropped. I don't think you fault the first drop that you saw from Deebo Samuel. I think you can fault him when the ball's behind him. The ball's literally behind him. And I know people if you touch the football, you got to catch it. I get that. I understand that. In that sense, he's running, he's beating the slot guy, he's beating this guy on the slant, and the ball, he's running as fast as he can, and the ball's literally thrown behind him. And as he turns and stretches, I just don't feel like Debo has that elasticity, did I say that right? Like in his body to kind of like turn his torque. Like, oh my God, reach back. I mean, he did touch it with one hand. It would have been a spectacular catch, 1,000%. It would have been amazing if he caught that. The drop though was on the screen, and I know people were pissed. I was pissed. I said I was pissed. I was huge. I was pissed. Can't drop that screen. But again, he was trying to catch that screen and get ghost. Next time, Debo, don't jump. I know the pass was a little bit high. Don't jump, bro. Just catch the ball. And he did it again from the opposite side. Unfortunately, the blocking wasn't there. So a couple of drop passes, per PFF. I know people are going to be like, well, I saw a bunch of other drops. They probably more credited on the throw of it not being a catchable pass. Let's just say it like that. I mean, to be considered as a drop, in my opinion. That's just my thoughts. But I thought Debo played really well. He was actually the second. He actually graded. He didn't grade in the 80s, but he was up there. 4 for 7 targets, 4 receptions, 71 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. Was hoping Debo would have gotten in the end zone. Couldn't get in the end zone. But offensively, the Niners did good. Again, the mistakes, the penalties, you got guys running into each other, canceling each other out. That was the second touchdown, right? The first touchdown from CeeDee Lamb was because I thought it was a miscommunication. They're playing man and zone, and nobody manned up against CeeDee Lamb. Like, it's like, if you're going to play zone on him, where's the safety over the top? I'm trying to figure out where the safety was if you're playing zone. I know the safeties weren't playing man because I know the linebackers weren't playing man because as CeeDee Lamb is running across the field doing that gauntlet drill, they're passing him off. Yeah, my safety's going to be there. And there was nobody there. There was nobody there. So, couple mistakes could have cost the 49ers the game. It's all good. But listen, the Niners figured out a way to play football. They figured out a way. Matt has a comment, says that is never true. If you touch the football, you used to catch it. That is so incorrect. I agree. That's just the statement that is put out there. But let's hear why Matt says I just feel like it's nothing. Matt, high five. Is no better feeling. I get a no better feeling when somebody understands what's going on in my head. And sometimes I feel like I don't explain it properly. That's on me. But when I hear it and read it from somebody else, here's why Matt says that statement is incorrect or untrue or whatever you want to believe. When you're running full speed, you can't, like physically can't tilt backwards and catch a pass. Like you can't. Like, he turned and tried to grab it, but unfortunately, the science is he's still running full speed this way. And if Brock just puts the ball a little bit more in front of him, or at least to him, it's a catch, hopefully. So I'm with you, bro. It's unfortunate, but to me, that wasn't the drop. And here's Slick, and that's why I said, Slick, certain body types, there's certain physical attributes to certain players. If that was Brandon Ayuk, 9 times out of 10, that would have been a catch because of the arms, the arm lengths, right? Because of the arm length. Like, so he might have been able to make that catch. You're right. But Debo with the shorter arms, shorter torso, tighter body, wasn't going to be able to make that catch. Now, if you want to say that was a what you call it, it is what it is, yeah. So Christy says, and Nigel Jennings would have probably made that catch too. Probably. We've seen Jennings make toe catches, shoestring catches, real high catches. He just has a different body type. Like, he has the elasticity in his body to make certain catches. I feel like Debo's a little shorter, stouter, tighter type of a dude. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. All right, let's get to some of these questions. And then I do want to go over, actually, before the questions, let me go over the grades. I do got some grades pulled up here. Here are your top 5 PFF offensive grades for the San Francisco 49ers. You got George Kittle at number 1 with a 90.2 on National Tight End Day. Congratulations to George Kittle, who finished this game as a phenomenal pass catcher for the 49ers. He actually led the Niners in receiving yards. He is officially number 3, right, in most receiving yards. I believe he's number 4 in most receptions, which is at 500, right? And I believe he needs 6 more receptions, so 7 more receptions to move up to number 3, which is in front of the late, great, the legend, Mr. Dwight Clark, who he passed for the most receiving yards. So the top 3 receiving leaders for the San Francisco 49ers are Jerry Rice, nobody's catching him, Terrell Owens, who is literally half of what Jerry Rice has, right? And then George Kittle. If George Kittle plays for 3 more years, he may just be number 2. He may surpass Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is in the 8,000s. George Kittle is in the 6,000s. A couple more and this season is only halfway through. George Kittle, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 128 yards, and the TD on National Tight Ends Day. It was cool to listen to his speech and say, this was my day. It was a holiday. It is. And so George Kittle absolutely balled out in this game. Deebo Samuel came in second with a 78.2. Brock Purdy with a 70. Jake Brendo. Oh, what? Jake Brendo with a 70. Interesting. Kyle Juszczyk with a 69.2. So I know some of those grades are relatively low. But, you know, it's really good to see George Kittle up there. Defensively, a little bit different. Defensively, in my opinion. We got the rookie, my man, Renardo Green. Congratulations to the rookie. Agent Zero is what I like to call him. 91.3 for Renardo Green. Round of applause to the rookie. That's why I said some of these guys are showing up and showing out. The question is, can they find a way to build consistency with the snaps? And you got to give Renardo Green some props, man. This kid is a rookie, and he played 45 snaps. 45 total snaps in this game. 33 were in coverage. 12 was on run defense. I think they're starting to trust him a little bit more, and I love it. I love it a lot. Jair Brown probably was the best defensive player in the game. I mean, he was finishing tackles. He was around the line of scrimmage. He got his first interception this year. Jair Brown finished with an 86.4. We'll talk about the missed tackles in a second because there were only 4 recorded in this game. 4 missed tackles in this game. And I think that's pretty damn good, you know. That's pretty damn good. I'll make sure I let you know who had the missed tackles. D. Winters, 85.5. Now, D. Winters did leave the game with a concussion. He did not return. We're praying for him. Deommodore Lenoir did go into the medical tent. He had the big interception, too, on Dak Prescott. He finished with a 76.6. And Fred Warner, the captain, the one and only Fred Warner, 72.8. He finished 5th amongst the grades out there. So, look, the Niners were definitely doing their thing. They were definitely balling. They were getting it in or whatever or whatnot. All right, let's get to some of these questions. I see people giving them a B+. What do you give the Niners offense and defense and special teams? I want to see what your grades are or whatnot. What are you guys giving the Niners offense, defense, and special teams? If I had to grade the offense, it's a B+ for me. They got to 30 points, so like I give it a solid B+. Still left a lot of plays out there on the football field. Defensively, technically, they were holding Dallas, man. They almost were pitching a shutout, and then they had a couple of mistakes on the defensive side. So I'm gonna go solid B for the defense. And you're never gonna believe that I'm gonna give special teams a mother freaking A. Look, I got a third kicker kicking 3 for 3 on field goals. I got the return was average 23.3 23 yards for Turpin. Like, they weren't giving up any explosives. I'm going to give special teams a motherfreaking A. Special teams gets an A for me for this game, for not giving up any big returns, getting down there, covering the lanes. You know who didn't play in this game? Jalen Graham. You know who gave up those explosive plays? Jalen Graham. Interesting. BBA for Jax. Mark gave the offense a C. Really? I felt like the offense was a little bit better than the C. It was a B plus for me. They found they struggled and adjusted. I feel like the adjustment, for me, I felt like the adjustment was dope. Like, they made the adjustment. Mark with the C. Araceli with the B minus. All right. Xavier B plus. Too many holding calls. Yeah, penalties, man. Penalties sucked. Agency 323. First time special team. I don't know what you got to do to give special. I'm giving them an A because I don't think they'll ever get an A again. But we're hoping they're trending upwards, right? We're hoping. That's what we're hoping. B is all around. I like it, man. C on the offense, BBA, B to B minus offense, B for the defense, A minus for special teams. So you up there with me. My boy Cole, B plus, B plus for the offense, B for the D, A minus for, y'all just not going to give them a solid A. Somebody tell me what special teams did wrong in this game. Somebody find a flaw in our special teams. Please tell me. Somebody find a flaw in our special teams. You know who the worst special teams player was, in my opinion? Worst special teams player? Mitch Wishnowsky. That dude has no more net. He can't net the ball anymore. It's like, dude, you used to be able to kick the ball, place the ball where you want it. Like, where'd your leg go? I wonder if he's dealing with an injury. Didn't Mitch Wishnowsky have an injury at the beginning of the season? Interesting. To find out. So, man, I appreciate you guys on the grades. Let's get to some of these. I commented about 6 or 7, and if I see any as I come back, I'll get to them. But boy, don't bother me with the question. He says, Wayne, what improvements would you like to see over the bye week? Well, let me just first start off by saying I'm excited to see who will be returning during the bye week. And if Christian McCaffrey returns, I think the faithful can, and I know it's tough because we don't know what he's going to look like, but you got to trust Christian McCaffrey, who he is and what he does. And did you guys hear Chris Collinsworth talk last night? I've been trying to explain because what the value of Christian McCaffrey is to you guys, and I feel like no one cares because we're still supposed to be winning, and I get it. But he spoke specifically on what Christian McCaffrey did to the offense and how he draws double teams and how he confuses the defenses. And that's what I was trying to explain. It was like, yo, like, I know, yeah, there'll be plays he'll get stopped for no yards for sure. But when in that pass game, the defense don't know if he getting the ball out of the backfield or if you're throwing it to him when he splits out or if he lines up and it's going to be a pass. Like, it keeps the defense on their toes. And I think that's been the biggest feature to why the Niners haven't been able to score in that red zone. He opens up the offense. In other words, Chris Collinsworth said that Christian McCaffrey is the key to the offense. And he is. That doesn't mean he's the wild piece. He's the wild card. He's the key. He unlocks everybody. He activates everybody else. To open up when you have Christian McCaffrey out there. So I hope people kind of understand that aspect. So what would I like to see improve offensively? I want him to get back into rhythm football. Does that make any sense to everybody out there? Rhythm. I miss the rhythm. I miss the efficiency. I miss the quick throws. I miss that. Like, that used to be Brock. I love the explosive plays, but I miss the efficiency. And I feel like they leave a lot out on the table. There are a lot more penalty calls because plays have to develop. Get back to the quick throws. Get back to controlling the clock. So offensively, that. Defensively, like, man, there's so many young players out there, bro, and too many major injuries to the vets. I just think defensively, we just gonna have to take what we can get. Nick Sorensen is new. His players are struggling with communicating. We're seeing overcompensation from some players. The secondary doesn't look as hot or as good. They flash here or there. I think you just put these young motherfuckers out there and you let them ball dog, and so we get what we get defensively. The one thing I can talk about the defense being consistent is they come out on fire. Like they're looking to force that 3 and out. Remember last year, our defense played on fire for like that first, like that. They were weird the first half. They came out after the bye. They were on fire. And then as the season progressed, they started giving up or getting gashed in the run game. We don't want that. So find a way. Make sure run defense is on point. Special teams, give me what I saw yesterday on special teams. If you were able to hold an elite returner on 5 returns, averaging 23 yards per return, I have hope. I have hope. So that's what I would like to see improve after the bye week. And it all comes down to who's coming back. Xavier Redmond, my biggest pet peeve was Jair Brown running into Renardo Green. Big miscommunication. Yeah, like that's what happens when you got 2 young players out there on the football field. And these are growing pains. So yeah, you could be angry, you could be frustrated, you could be upset. Luckily, it didn't cost us the game. But again, we said luckily it could have cost us the game. So it gave up a touchdown. They have to get better at communicating, and that's what it is. Like they have to get better at communicating, and the only way they're going to do that is by being out there practicing and doing it during game time. So that was one of the biggest things, the biggest mistakes from last night's game. Our boy Nick, this is my brother, man. What's up, Breezie? Do you agree that Purdy, the rusher, is one of the best things added to the offense this year? Great question. Yeah, right. Like, so teams, I want to, can I change your wording just a little bit? Because Purdy's not a rusher, but his ability to run the ball is a better choice of words for me when I'm trying to explain what I'm saying. Yeah, phenomenal. Why? How many times we get beat by quarterbacks that just have the ability to run, not ones that you got a game plan for, and like the Kyler Murrays, the Jalen Hurts, the Josh Allens, like you game plan for it because they get designed runs, right? They get design runs. It's the quarterbacks that run off schedule that hurt us the most. Patrick Mahomes, those guys, right? Brock Purdy, if he's developing that, okay, if he's developing that trait, it's a huge addition to the San Francisco 49ers. The only issue is, one, if it's the safe run, hit the slide. I'm not mad at him when he's trying to get the first down, but he does put himself at risk out there when he runs the ball. So if Brock Purdy goes down, then it better be Josh Dobbs at QB too. But I'm loving what we're getting from Brock Purdy, and I wish he would stop being, he has to be more decisive with it. If you're going to commit to the run, Brock, run. Because it's too young of a team. It's too young of a team. So even on that 3rd and 1, he committed to the run. I know I watched him commit. I'm like, yeah, and no. And he pulls back and he's trying to get Ronnie Bell to get open. I'm like, no, just run it. It's 1 yard. And so he has to be decisive and commit. If you're going to commit to it. Get the first down. You're going to take the hit, get the first down, get up and keep it moving. And so that's my take on that. You know what I mean? Nigel, what's good? Breezy, what are your thoughts on the Pearsall run? So you only want to know about the Pearsall run? All right, so I know people are like, yeah, he's better than Deebo Samuel. Hold up. First of all, he wasn't in the backfield. Second of all, they ain't used to seeing it. Like, it's so different when a team knows who you are and what you're dangerous of. They don't know what Ricky Pearsall's going to do. And I actually like the fact that Kyle didn't line him up in the backfield. He was lined up, and boom, he gets the ball and he takes it off to the left for a 39-yard gain. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. It's like Kyle is going to be able to utilize his offense if he can trust these young players to execute. And I thought that was the perfect execution of a play from a rookie we've seen in a long time. I'm still hoping we get the opposite wide receiver and we do the jet sweep or the jet reverse sweep. I'm hoping we get that, and I want to see Jacob Cowan do it. Nobody's catching Jacob Cowan out of the backfield. If the Niners are blocking right, that kid might be taking it to the house. So I would like to see that, but I think Kyle's just unleashing Lair, after layer. He's just pulling off a little bit at a time, in my opinion. So thought the run was phenomenal. I thought the blocking was set up. That was pretty damn good. Chris Conley was blocking his ass off on that play. And I thought he played really well as a wide receiver. Ricky Pearson might be the only wide receiver that can get open on a consistent basis for the San Francisco 49ers. And that's huge. So with the injury to Brandon Ayuk, I don't see him replacing the Ayuk role. I see a different role for him, but his ability to line up at the X, Y, and the Z is going to be key for the San Francisco 49ers. Key. Sal, he says, I don't want to stress every time Moody will make the kick or not. So a lot of people aren't high on Jake Moody, and I get it. And I'm curious to know why. Because if you guys know Anders Carlson, he was horrible last year. Matter of fact, he got cut by Green Bay. He was their rookie kicker. They let him go, right? And he was terrible. But then he comes in here, and he hasn't missed yet. And it's good, because I feel like the moment he missed, he will never be under the same scrutiny as Jake Moody, because he wasn't a draft pick. He was a guy that they picked up off the street, whatever. But it's tough. It's tough. I'm just hoping Jake Moody is healed and he's ready to kick again. But what we got from Anders Carlson and what we got from Matthew Wright before he got injured is what we needed. Is what we needed. What did he kick? A 50-yarder, a 44, and a 41 yesterday, 3 for 3. Anders Carlson. I told people to pick him up on my fantasy. Nobody watches the fantasy football show. I said, get him. The Niners are going to attempt field goals because that's what they do. That's what we do. We attempt field goals. And so I get it. Man. Jake Moody is going to always leave you with that unwary feeling because you just don't know if it's going to go in or not. But it's the pressure on him is way greater than the pressure being on like an Anders Carlson, because he wasn't a draft pick. He wasn't even on this roster, prior to the injury to Jake Moody. So I get it. It's gonna be it's tough. It's tough. Corey says, Wayne, that play on Conley was offensive pass interference on the goal line for Kittle. Do you agree? Oh, but it wasn't. So it wasn't. And I know it was like the perfect. It was the legal pick play. Like if it was a legal pick play, and I have to break it down on film. I can't really tell you. I got to show it to you. So on the Patreon, I'll go through it. But it was the legal pick play. And his man and the other man went with him. And they canceled each other out with him running into him. I don't know how that should have been PI. But they didn't call it. So it wasn't OPI. It was like the actual way a pick play is designed to actually go. They canceled each other out. It wasn't anything that he did. He just ran his route. And so that's what you got. And it just freed George Kittle up wide open. That was a nice touchdown. Great adjustment to Brock Purdy. Put the ball where it needed to be on a short pass. And it was just perfect. Perfectly drawn up. That's what I call a play design from Kyle Shanahan. And they do it every single week, y'all. They do it every single week. Like, these are plays that need to be bigged up. Like, Kyle's drawing these legal picks. You know who was notorious for this? The New England Patriots. Like, this was what happens. Like, it's plays just to free up. It's called scheme, and that's what they did. Kyle had the right scheme. The defense fell for it, and it was no penalty. So I actually glad that the refs did what they needed to do to pick that up. Ty Tanner with the question, old news that maybe you discussed on a previous episode and I missed it, but what do you think about the NFL giving a higher fine? No, we did not discuss this. We did not discuss this. Usually, though, Ty, the aggressor, the second person, because they both are aggressive, right? The second person usually gets hit with the worst because they're the ones that they see. I mean, you can go back and watch it, but the one that was actually like televised and saw, like, yeah, it was Trent, and it looked like he took a big shot, at the defender. So even though the defender started it, he antagonized it, The response was for Trent Williams. I don't like it, but we know that's just how it works. Usually the second person involved is going to get the higher fine, going to get the penalty. And at least in that game, luckily the refs called the penalty on both players. So that was a good thing. But Trent ended up paying, what, $10K? And the other dude paid, what, $8K? Maybe they just knew Trent got a bigger bag. I don't know. But I don't like it, to answer your question. I think that's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. Let me see if there's any more questions out here. Oh man! So like, overall, man, the game is great. Like the game is great, and the Niners, I think, are going to be on that trajectory to greatness after the bye week, because now they can literally just be focused all in. Right? They got to the bye, they got the injuries that they got to deal with. None of them are too severe, other than the players that are out for the remainder of the season. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Christy Marie. How come we didn't see more Cowing? Wasn't he the one that caught the bomb last week? Man. I think it came down to the way Dallas was playing defense, and they weren't going to give up the big play down the field. The Niners were going to work underneath. We did get some Jacob Cowing out there on snaps, but as far as targets, it just wasn't in the game plan for him. I have to watch the film to see if he was actually open on some of the targets. I mean, on some of the plays that he was out there, snaps, excuse me. But it just wasn't set up for him or anything like that. So it's baby steps for these young guys, right? Like the Niners, you could tell that they were trying to move the chains, get into a rhythm, and they relied on Ricky Pearsall in his hands and his ability to get open. I think Cowing could get open using his speed, especially down the field, but his size in the slot is a problem. There's a lot of different things to reasons why they didn't use him. And Debo was healthy, so like Debo played, and you got to get Debo involved, like in the discussion. I'm not going to no guy over Debo Samuel. It's just how it works. And so they had to find a way to get Debo involved. That's the energy. Now, they could have tried to attempt a splash play, but a lot of Brock Purdy's passes were underthrown. And you don't want to, you're playing against guys that like to intercept the ball, like the Trayvon Diggses and stuff like that out there. I think you didn't want any of those balls kind of like hanging in the air. The wind wasn't great for the 49ers as far as the way it was blowing. So I don't know. I don't know why we don't see more Jacob Cowing. That doesn't mean I don't want to see more of Jacob Cowing. Like I definitely do, Christy Marie. I need him. He's explosive. But again, you're putting a lot on the young kid. If you don't need to utilize him, don't force him to be out there. Sprinkle him in. Just get him out there, sprinkle him in. And I think with Debo being back, you sprinkle him in. With Juwan Jennings coming back, you're not going to see any of them. So, it's going to be Debo, Juwan, Ricky, right? So, there'll be sprinkles. But I think the Dallas defense is the main reason why you didn't see him out there. You know what I mean? He did catch that big pass, but that was on a different type of defense. It is agency. Am I the only one that holds my breath? He slips every single time, yo. And I'm like, ball, please don't come out. First of all, please don't get hurt, and ball, please don't come out. Like you're not lying. Like you're not the only one. Like I don't even watch it anymore. I just say whatever happens, and I live with it. That's how I am. That's exactly how I am. A couple more questions before I dip up out of here. Let's see. Should the 49ers be buying at the deadline? Absolutely. They got to figure out a way. They got to figure out if there's a piece for them to add for them to get better. We talked about it early on the episode. And, to recap, they can still be looking to get a veteran wide receiver in here. They've done it before. Now, I know they've drafted receivers, blah, 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 blah. But we talk about a veteran that understands scheme. We're talking about a guy that knows how to get open. We're talking about one of those type of wide receivers. And Deontay Johnson, I don't know if it's still a thing. I don't know if the Panthers are still willing to think. But according to Adam Schefter, he is expected to be traded next week. All right. So I think the wide receiver position is the thing. I liked what I saw from Sam O. I don't know if they go edge. If they go anywhere else on the defense, maybe interior, but it's going to be tough to trade for a good defensive tackle at this point. unless it's a guy like DJ Jones returning. If they're going to go for an edge, they want to get somebody in here that fits, that can fit. I don't know if Arden Key's available for I don't know. But they definitely need to add probably either a piece on the defensive side or that veteranship in the wide receiving room, because it's about to hit the fan. Like, they got some tough games. They got a tough stretch of games, especially on the road, and they need Brock to be comfortable getting that ball to guys that can be in the spots. And it just reminds me of the season that they traded for Emmanuel Sanders. It just reminds me of the season. And that year, we had drafted 2 receivers. We drafted Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd. They were rookies, right? But the rest of the receiving core was kind of like blah, 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 blah. Now, we drafted 2 rookies this year. Brandon Ayuk is out. Deebo Samuel is in. Jawan Jennings is dealing with this injury. That's so weird. It's a hip injury. We don't know what's going on with that. Do they look to bring in another veteran guy that can just help keep the offense moving like clockwork? So that's a problem. It won't be a super huge splash. There are the rumors about getting DeForest Buckner out there. Here, Kendrick Bourne rumors. I don't think Kendrick Bourne does anything to the 49ers offense. I think we have better guy options than Bourne. If I'm trading for a receiver, it has to be somebody that's going to be a better option. A guy that can catch passes, can get open, will be at spots for Brock to throw the anticipated throws opposed to making sure it has to be highly accurate. Brock thrown to a spot, I need that. They got that for Jimmy. Let's get it for Brock. That's how I look at that, in my opinion. Do I know what play Deebo got hurt on? I'm going to take a guess and say it was on that wide receiver screen that got busted up. And remember, he was kind of bent sideways, and it took a minute for him to get up. I think that was the play. He got his ribs dinged up. Just me guessing. Listen, faithful, it's been a long 8 weeks. You guys have been rocking with me. You guys have been rocking with me for years. These 8 weeks have been the longest up and down 8 weeks we've probably seen as a 49er fan. Here's the bright side. They're 4-4. They're back to 500. They're second place in the NFC West. And the Niners really, literally, absolutely are in control of their own destiny. Now that it's 0-0, however you want to look at it, 500, the Niners can take it 1-0 every single time. First game off of the bye, expect reinforcements to come back. First game off the bye, expect them to travel well as a band of brothers. First game off the bye, expect them to destroy the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I mean destroy. It won't even be a thought. Niners play very well in Florida, and they got to play there twice this season. I'm excited. So expect that to go down. The Niners are going to be fine. And we are going to be celebrating at some point this season because we just know who our team is. Like, we know who we can be. And right now, it's a little different because they're trying to figure certain things out. I think the Niners went through this growing pain process to just figure things out. How can we win this way? Can we win this way? Can we overcome this adversity? Can we overcome this? And then they get hit with more adversity on top of that. The Niners found a way to close out a game against, to me, a dynamic offensive team in the Dallas Cowboys, regardless of who was there. Y'all can't tell me they're not dynamic. I know they can't run, but damn it, Dak Prescott be a top 10 passing quarterback every single year, and CeeDee Lamb cooked the San Francisco 49ers. Unfortunately, the Niners were too strong for the Dallas Cowboys. Enjoy your break. There will be shows. I promise throughout the week, man. Make sure your alerts are set to all and on. Don't forget to like this joint. If you want some basketball talk, follow me on Celtics World Podcast right here on YouTube. And let's have some fun, man. Let's enjoy the break. Enjoy each other. No more toxicity, at least for a week. Relax. Niners won. F everything else. Love y'all. Keep it faithful to the Bay, y'all. Peace.